This is your First Alert Weather Breakdown, a deep dive into how weather works with meteorologist CJ Cartledge.
And good morning, everyone. I'm First Alert Meteorologist CJ Cartledge here on the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown for today. I hope you guys have had a great start to your Tuesday, your Fat Tuesday, that is. Happy Mardi Gras, everyone, by the way, and happy Fat Tuesday. If you're celebrating in New Orleans or if you're celebrating here in Shreveport and Bossier or wherever you are around the Arklatex, make sure to have a great day and enjoy this last day of the Mardi Gras season here right before Lent starts tomorrow on Ash Wednesday here. We got a pretty interesting topic for you guys for today. We're actually going to be talking about the approaching severe weather season here. We're going to be talking about many different things like what makes a severe storm, as well as how to prepare for this upcoming severe weather season, just in case a severe weather situation or a severe storm hits your area. And then we're going to be diving into a little bit of the local forecast soon afterwards. We're going to be talking about this this next big cool down that we can expect, and the warming trend that we should see as we move through the next couple of days ahead of us here. So we're going to be diving into all of those details. But first, I want to give you guys a little bit of an overview of what happened with the last severe weather event on our Valentine's Day. And I'm not going to apologize because I didn't bring this weather. I'm just the messenger. I was about to apologize in my head, but yes, I want to say that I feel bad for you all that may have had dates outside during Valentine's Day this past weekend, but had to move them inside. Hopefully you still had a good day overall here. But I just wanted to give you guys a look at the rain totals that we saw from Valentine's Day alone here on our Saturday when the severe weather rolled through the Arklatex. Broken Bow was the area that received the most amount of rainfall, and it was right on par with our forecast, with those areas north of I-30 receiving between 2 to 3 inches of rainfall here. Broken Bow, I believe, was not the only area that saw more than 2 inches there. Some localized areas got more than 2 inches as well of rainfall here. El Dorado in Arkansas and DeQueen are very close to each other in the rain total competition here. They got around 1.9 inches of rainfall, just over 1.9 inches, close to 2 inches of rainfall there. They're both north of I-30 as well. Shreveport Bossier got close to around 1.5 inches of rainfall throughout the duration of this system rolling through and the strong to severe storms that rolled through. Longview was very close to Shreveport Bossier's mark at 1 inch and a quarter there, and just less than 1 inch of rainfall fell near Texarkana. Now, this isn't the only thing that impacted the Arklatex. We had a multitude of tornado warnings. We actually had only 3, but it was enough to make us go on air to talk about it here. We had one that was moving through, I believe it was Gregg and Harrison County, and there was another one that impacted, or actually there was a rotation. There was multiple rotations detected, but there was rotation strong enough to present a tornado warning by this was Red River County and moving into Red River Parish and Bienville Parish. But there was also a confirmed tornado near Shelby County over in East Texas here. This was just south of the tornado warning that was issued for Gregg and Harrison counties. Over in East Texas there. This was a confirmed tornado just near Center, Texas. It's actually within the town of Center, Texas. This was an EF1 tornado with peak winds at around 95 miles per hour due to the damage assessment here. This occurred at around 6:03 p.m. to 6:05 p.m. I believe multiple meteorologists here on the KSLA First Alert Weather team, I believe me and Jake, from what I've seen, had posted about it on Facebook about the confirmed tornado, which was an EF1 by Center, Texas in Shelby County. It was on the ground for about a mile, crossed over Texas Highway 7 there in Center of Texas, this town of Center, and it had a max width of 84 yards, which is just shy of a football field. So it was a very wide, pretty wide tornado there that passed through Highway 7. And I don't believe there were any casualties associated with this, so that is definitely a great sign here. So let's get into the severe weather preparedness side of things. So first of all, you have to know about the severe weather. What makes a storm severe? The first bullet point there is the winds. The winds could reach upwards of 58 miles per hour. So when you see most severe thunderstorm warnings, you see that they have a threat level of 60 mile per hour wind gusts or higher. So that's what makes a thunderstorm severe, which means straight line winds equaling or getting above 58 miles per hour in terms of wind gusts, not normal sustained winds. Sustained winds at 58 miles per hour, that's nearly hurricane level. But in terms of hail, what makes a thunderstorm severe is when the hail sizes get upwards of 1 inch or larger here. So pea-sized hail, not that severe. That's very close to regular, very big raindrops here, but it's still hail. It's just on the smaller end of things. $half size hail, I believe, is 1.5 inches. So that's more than likely that going to promote a severe thunderstorm warning when hail gets larger than the size of a quarter, which is around 1 inch in diameter. But any storm that produces a tornado or any storm that produces an area of rotation that produces a tornado warning is considered severe. Any storm that produces a tornado or tornado warning, I would say, is considered severe. So those all three things individually makes a thunderstorm severe or prompts a severe thunderstorm warning. These do not all have to happen at the same time. Any one of these individually can cause a severe thunderstorm. Now, severe thunderstorm awareness for tornadoes. These are violently rotating winds that can exceed 200 miles per hour. That's at the worst here. That's at the worst. I believe the highest recorded wind gusts with a tornado has been over 300 miles per hour. If I'm not mistaken, nothing that's happened here in the article text, just talking about all time here. But these tornadoes in general can be more than 2 miles wide, or they can be very small tornadoes with very rapid winds at the surface here. So that's just at the worst. That's worst case scenario. Winds can exceed 200 miles per hour. That's more than likely, or that actually is EF5 tornado. But they can also be 2 miles wide, which is more than likely going to be a higher end, stronger tornado, either EF4 or EF5. Cars and mobile homes are definitely susceptible to these tornadoes and more than likely going to be damaged depending on the severity of these tornadoes. EF0, EF1 could probably break some glass, break the windshield or the windows of cars, and it could definitely pose some damages to mobile homes. You'll need to abandon these things for better shelter if a tornado drops down or touches the ground in your area. If nothing else, if you are outside and you do not have any shelter, no mobile home, no cars nearby, you will definitely need to lie in a ditch, in an area that is, if you can imagine a flat area, if anything that dips on the ground, you would want to lie there and lie flat with your hand over your head, just so that you would protect yourself from any debris that may be flying by or anything else. And maybe that could be trees, that could be power lines, that could be power poles, the big wooden things that you see there on the screen. It could be anything. Debris can be anything that's flying in the air as a result of these violently rotating winds. But you want to think low and small when you're encountering a tornado, or if a tornado is about to reach your area. You want to get to the lowest level of your building or structure or home or wherever you may be, or wherever your shelter may be. And you would want to get into a small interior room. Actually, I want to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about here when I'm talking about a small and interior room. Where to take shelter here is somewhere. I'm going to move myself off of the screen because you may not be able to see it very clearly as compared to the other places where it may not be so safe here. The green zone is a room that is an interior building. It's in the center part of your home or shelter. It's away from windows. And once you get into this place, you'll definitely want to cover your head with a helmet or blankets or pillows or anything that you can do to protect your head from any flying debris, just in case that tornado just moves through your house or it damages your house. God forbid that it ever does that. But right above my head, what you see there, that green box that you see there on the screen, is a perfect place to stay, whether that's a closet, whether that's a bathroom. That's a perfect place to stay in the case of a tornado coming close to your area. Now, moving on to the next one, we're talking about flooding here. Flash flooding is one of the major causes for deaths as a result of severe weather here. So let's talk about the details. It's actually the #1 storm-related killer here. More than tornadoes and more than lightning, flash flooding kills more people per year than tornadoes and lightning. It's very, very life-threatening. Can get to life-threatening level. Around 127 people per year die due to flash flooding. So always remember, turn around, don't drown. Nearly half of flood deaths happen in vehicles. You'll want to abandon your vehicle. That's why they say to turn around, don't drown, is because when you try to drive through it, water gets into the electrical system and it could completely stop the car from working entirely. So all you're going to be dealing with is dead weight at this point. You'll want to abandon the car if you're encountering flooded roadways, especially if you are stuck in any types of flood. For safety, move to higher ground and make sure to stay away from flooded areas. Now, in terms of lightning, some lightning facts for you guys. All storms have lightning, whether that's in the clouds or whether that's striking the ground. Fun fact is you can actually have ground-to-cloud lightning, which is another topic that we may discuss at a later date. But not a this is associated with this first bullet point here, not a severe weather criteria of one of the bigger storm killers here. So lightning is not necessarily a severe weather criteria, mainly because it happens in all storms. If you can hear it, then you can fear it. If you can hear it, then you are able to be struck by lightning. Simple as that. If you hear thunder, you're close enough to be struck. This is what I just mentioned there. But you should follow the 30-30 rule. The 30-30 rule means that after the last lightning strike or last rumble of thunder, you should count to 30 seconds. If you count to 30 seconds and you don't hear any more, or actually, once you hear, this is exactly how it is. I just remembered it in my head. If you see the lightning, right? You see the lightning, count to 30. If you don't get to 30 before hearing the rumble of thunder, that means that the storm is still too close to you for you to go outside. If you see lightning and you wait 30 seconds, and after 30 seconds you still don't hear a rumble of thunder, then it may be safe to go outside. But you'll want to wait at least 30 minutes after you hear thunder for it to be completely safe from any types of lightning strikes that you may encounter here. So after the storm has passed, what do you need to do after the storm has passed? And let's just say that it had damaged your home or shelter that you are in as a result of the storm moving through. You want to check property for damage. Wear sturdy shoes because the debris can be sharp or it could be dull, and it could definitely cut you. You don't want any cuts when you're going through debris. Wear sturdy shoes, long pants, and a long shirt during the process. Make sure to contact family and loved ones in the process of doing so. Let your family and friends know that you are okay. And the last bullet point here is to help your neighbor. Help administer first aid to injured neighbors if it's safe to do so. Now, talking about the what we can expect through the next 5 days ahead of us here, just want to clarify that we're not expecting much severe weather or any at all through the next 5 days ahead of us, even though we have some chances for rain later on this work week and into the weekend due to our next weather maker, but it's not expected to bring any types of severe weather, let alone any types of severe weather related to or similar to what we saw this past weekend here. And I just want to show you guys some average tornado activity. This graphic shows the average tornado activity for the entire country, but if you want to pay attention to Louisiana, just in particular, please feel free to do so. So for the month of January, believe it or not, we still see tornadoes in January, mainly in the southern and midwestern United States, and even in California, see maybe 1 or 2 tornadoes out there. For February, pretty much same areas here, with the inclusion of, I believe that's Kansas there. I believe they wasn't included before, but Kansas as well as Virginia was included in this, and Oklahoma may not see many tornadoes during the month of February here. But as we move towards the month of March, that's when we start to see a little bit more of a number of tornadoes out there near Texas, as well as Alabama, Mississippi. Same thing for Louisiana and more the southeastern United States. But April is the most active month for tornadoes out of any other month throughout the year. This is the time when you have a mix of cooler air and drier air. This is the time when temperatures are starting to get warmer out there across the Arctic and across the world here. as you may already know, with the sun angle moving towards the equator. So more of the southern United States will start to see severe weather and especially tornadoes a bit more during the month of April. As we get into May, more of the Midwestern states start to see more tornadoes out there. As we get towards the summer months, June, July, August, that number of tornadoes starts to grow in the northern plains or the northern United States here. Actually, believe it or not, Minnesota sees quite a lot of tornadoes out there during the month of July and August. Same thing for North Dakota, that state up there in the red color. Not many tornadoes can be seen during August here. That's outside of the potential for hurricanes that can also produce tornadoes. As we get towards the later months of the year, September, not many tornadoes may pop up, but Florida could see a good amount of tornadoes. I believe that color there corresponds to around 7 or 8. For October, this is when we're getting to our technically a second severe weather season here. That's when we could see some tornadic activity near Texas, Louisiana, and portions of Alabama and Mississippi as well. And getting towards December, that's when we can start to see little to no tornadoes around the country here as a whole. But looking at the Arklatex tornado climatology here, in terms of Arklatex tornadoes, April also seems to be the month where we see the most tornadoes. June, July, not so much, as you can see there. But we technically have another severe weather season, mainly due to the rise in tornadoes as we move towards the later part of the months, more than likely during the fall season. September, October, November is when we can start to see more tornadic activity becoming possible. But our main severe weather season for here in the Arklatex and for most of the southeast United States, that is, the spring season is definitely another term for this severe weather season that is on the way. So February, we already seen one confirmed tornado in East Texas there. We're not expecting much severe weather or rain chances at all through the next 2 weeks or so. But as we get towards the month of March and April and May, just expect that we could see some severe weather here around the Arklatex. And I'm going to be diving into the local forecast very fast for you guys, or very quickly as we wrap up, and then wrap up the show soon afterwards, right after this quick break. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this part of the episode. We'll be diving into the local forecast in just a couple of minutes. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Something that I did forget to show you guys here was the severe weather checklist here that is also can be found on the KSLA News 12 website at ksla.com under the weather tab. I want to show you guys that real fast here. Our severe weather checklist, if you just simply look up ksla.com/weather/guide, and if you scroll down to the bottom of the page here, this is what you will see at the top of the page. You would see the first alert weather safety guide, and you would scroll down, and you would see the welcome tab there, and then you would see an introduction from Chief Meteorologist Matt Jones, and there it is right there. All the things that you may need in the case of a severe weather situation: a flashlight, batteries, cell phone portable charger, battery, or hand crank radio, if you do have one, or you can obviously get one from your local store like Walgreens or potentially Walmart. First aid kit, bottled water, manual can opener, canned and non-perishable food, a whistle to signal for help, extra pet food, cash, prescription medication, personal hygiene items, sleeping bag or blanket, or you can also get baby supplies out there. So those are all things that will be useful in the case of a severe weather situation. So make sure to make your way to that website, ksla.com/weather/guide. That's everything you may need in case of a severe weather situation, in case that a severe storm impacts your area. But here's a quick look at your local forecast before we wrap up today's show. As you can see, live look outside through our KSLA tower camera, sponsored by Mattress Plus. We're still watching mostly cloudy conditions as of right now in the Shreveport-Bossier area and around the Arklatex as well. We'll be dealing with the mostly cloudy skies through the next couple of hours or so. As we move through this afternoon, temperatures will be still rising into the low to mid 70s despite the cloud cover that we can expect here through the rest of this afternoon. We should see a bit more sunshine as well through the middle to late part of the afternoon as we wrap up today here. Here's a look at our highs for today around the region. We're talking about the lower to mid 70s across the area for this afternoon here. Just moving myself off of the screen so you guys can see the full picture. 69 for Homer, 70 by Ruston, 70 also for Idabel and DeQueen. They just, as of the latest update, they've increased their highs for this afternoon. Around 75 for Longview and Marshall, 75 for Nacogdoches, and lower 70s for the far southern portions of the Arklatex there. But taking a look at the upper level pattern, it shows that we will be dealing with a warming trend, mainly because of a high pressure system that is currently located to the north and east of Shreveport-Bossier. It's going to make its way continuously to the east, and that's going to influence southerly flow or southerly winds coming out of the south there. That's going to cause our temperatures to rise until we hit our Thursday afternoon, where we should see the lower 80s across the region, or across many areas around the region. We should see the upper 70s as well. But our next big cool down arrives as we move towards the weekend here. Mainly by Friday is when we can start to see rain chances rise across the Arklatex. Mainly Friday night into Saturday is the time frame for this next weather maker. And temperatures are expected to drop below the average for this time of year by Sunday, which I will show in just a second. As you can see, that cold front will start to move towards the Arklatex and become stationary, which is why it changed from all blue to the red and blue colors there. That denotes a stationary front, which means it's not going to move here through the daytime hours on Saturday. But by Saturday night into Sunday, that cold front reappears once again, and that will push through the rest of the southeastern United States and promoting us with even cooler conditions heading into our Sunday, as you can see there. Forecast highs for the next 5 days shows that temperatures will be in the 70s for today, mid and upper 70s by Wednesday, upper 70s, lower 80s by Thursday, and we should see cooler conditions commence starting on Friday into Saturday, and as you can see into Sunday, where we should see temperatures drop below the average for this time of year into those mid and upper 50s across the region. Here's a look at some of the details associated with our next weather maker. It may bring a couple of isolated to scattered showers at times, but overall, we're not expecting any outstanding rainfall totals, just as what was mentioned earlier this morning here on KSLA News 12 this morning, where I was talking about it. And we should also see a weekend cool down, which I just showed you before. Temperatures will be dropping into the 60s by Saturday, with a pretty high chance for rain, or moderately high chance for rain. As we move into our Sunday, temperatures drop even lower, which is below the average for this time of year. But these below average temperatures should not last long here around the Arklatex, as we're expecting through the next 5 days after this 7-day period Temperatures are going to reach back up into the 60s and 70s for highs and into the 40s and 50s for lows. But we should see temperatures drop into the 30s out there, getting close to that freezing mark once again by early Sunday morning, and the same thing for early Monday morning. But until then, we should see a warming trend commence here around the Arklatex, or continue as it started yesterday. It's going to continue through today and into tomorrow and into Thursday before temperatures start to decrease on our Friday due to our next weather maker, and into Saturday, where we should see a pretty rainy start to the day, I would say. But we'll get more details on the timing and intensity of these rains, and how much and intensity of this rainfall, and how much rain we could receive as we get closer in time. But we should see cooler conditions, as mentioned before, by the end of the weekend and into the start of the new work week. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's episode. If you guys have any ideas that you want to share with us for what you think you want to hear on the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown, make sure to email us or send us an email at weatherbreakdown@ksla.com, or message any of us on Facebook. You can message me at c.j.cartledge. You can message Evan at meteorologist Evan Thomason. You can message Jake Lambright at his name, Jake Lambright, or you can message Chief Meteorologist Matt Jones at Meteorologist Matt Jones on Facebook. And you can also message the KSLA First Alert Weather Team that also has a Facebook account as of right now. And you can continue to join us weekdays streaming at 10:30 a.m. Tomorrow, we have another fun topic for you guys. We have weather trivia returning here. So we're going to be testing the audience, or I'm going to be testing the audience on what you know about the severe weather preparedness. So if you were listening for today, you would probably do a good job on tomorrow's trivia questions, which would be on severe weather and severe weather preparedness as well, what things that you may need. So make sure, if you missed today's episode, I will be posting this here on Facebook so you guys can rewatch it. Make sure to rewatch the episode to learn more about how you can prepare for severe weather and what makes a severe storm a severe storm. We'll be testing you guys on your knowledge on severe weather on tomorrow's episode. So make sure to tune into tomorrow's episode. It starts right at 10:30 a.m. I hope to see you there, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day as well. I'll be off of the green screen for the rest of today. I'll be back on the morning show tomorrow starting at 4:30 a.m. sharp. You will see meteorologist Jake Lambright on the noon and 4 p.m. shows today, and Chief Meteorologist Matt Jones will be on the green screen on your TVs at KSLA News 12 at 5, 6, and 10 p.m. Thank you guys once again for tuning into today's episode. I'll see you guys later. Have a great rest of your Fat Tuesday.